Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Monday. I'm just finishing, I teach a Pilates class on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings. And so yeah, I just finished up, and so I'm heading home, and there's something that is just running through my mind, and again, I just feel like it's something that I need to talk about because, I'm noticing people putting on masks again, and, which is, to each his own, that's fine, and I'm not saying anything, but, I don't watch TV. I don't even listen to the radio anymore. Like, if I want to listen to music, I listen to something that I have downloaded on my phone. I don't even listen to the radio anymore. Like, I just stay away from the media right now. Like, and again, it goes back to, like, how I said, in one of my other videos, I mentioned about media and communications, and then recently I just talked about scare tactics, and how, I feel like, that's kind of what some of these media companies are doing to us, and doing to, or not to, well, yeah, to us, and people watching the TV, watching the news, why? Because everybody loves to watch TV, and everybody loves to sit and watch, whatever, and like, turn the TV off, turn off the radio, like, seriously, like, get outside, get back to your senses, and again, I say this because just like, I was talking with somebody who has wild birds, they care for wild birds, and, he was saying, like, well, wild birds, after they've been caught, like, and they're kept in a cage, they lose their instincts, and then when they give birth, those birds are born, again, they're in a cage, again, they lose their instincts. So it's like a generational thing with these birds. Once they're caught, they start to lose their instincts. Gosh forbid if these things were ever let out, they wouldn't even know how to survive. And it's very similar for human people, for human beings. We're in front of the TV, we're in front of the computer, we're looking at our phone. I saw a woman walking with her child, but she's looking at her phone, while she's walking and pushing the stroller. Like, get out of front from the TV, get off of the phone for a little bit, get outside. Like, we need to keep our senses aware, instead of letting people, bombard our brains with all this, garbage, I'm not saying, yes, take precautions, but, more people have died from the flu than corona, and the coronavirus, the survival rate is like, for people 70 and over, the survival rate is like 99.4%, and almost 95%, if not more, of the people who passed have had some type of, weakened immune system, or for, some kind of health concern, I'm not saying, not to take precautions, but I'm saying don't be so afraid of it, okay? Because, the survival rate, you're probably better off catching coronavirus, dealing with the symptoms, and then you have the antibodies, honestly, And maybe, they're just, I see people, like I said, I don't like when somebody purposely and viciously tries to scare someone for their own, personal gain. So you really got to watch what they said or what they say. I took a media and communications class, or was enrolled in it, and I started it. And in that class, that's exactly what they were teaching. I actually dropped out of the class because I didn't want to do it. I was like, I don't want to do it the way you're telling me to do it, which is basically, that was what they were saying. They want you to grab headlines. They want you to grab attention, but nobody has any ethics or moral value anymore, so it's getting lost. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I'll put a spin on it, but they have no ethics, so they're like, oh yeah, well, I'll say this, but they don't care, how it's going to affect somebody. They don't care, and it's not right. Just like again, my second divorce, a lot of bad stuff happened, and one of the things, like, you can Google it. Google Sarah Taylor and CT, and the thing pops up. You'll see a article that someone wrote, and it says, angry wife attacks husband or smashes husband's windshield, or whatever it was. And yes, I did. I was angry. However, I was at a difficult time. It was a difficult time. It was a war zone. Like I said, I couldn't think straight. And so one night, it's like 4th of July, he's in and out of the house. I don't know what he's doing. He's going in the garage, out of the garage, in the garage, out the back door, back in the house. So finally, I'm like, what is going on? For, I don't know, a while, like a lot of things that he's telling me, I'm seeing, they're not sitting right with me, and he's telling me I'm crazy, I'm nuts, I'm this, I'm that. Okay. So anyways, he comes into the house and he's walking, I'm at the kitchen counter because I just got home from work. I was working all day trying to deliver kiosks to these stupid DVD kiosks that I got in our, settlement or part of our, whatever. I get home and I'm enrolled in school now because now I've been with this man. We're going through all this. Financially, I know I shot myself in the foot. I'm in a bad place now, and I know it. So now I'm attending school. I'm trying to go back, and get myself set up to get, try to get myself in a good position, because I knew I was in trouble because I let him handle that, and it didn't sit well with me, but I trusted him and blah, blah, blah. All right. So anyways, during this time that night, nobody's home. All the kids are gone. My son happens to be down the road at a friend's house, and I'm standing at the kitchen counter, and I'm on my computer doing my homework, trying to finish it because I have an assignment due. But I see him acting, kind of crazy. I don't know, whatever. He's going in and out. Like I said, it's just awkward. It's weird. It doesn't. I don't know. It's just weird. And so finally he comes in. But again, at this point, I still love this guy. All right. So he comes in and nobody's home. So I'm like, all right, maybe this is a chance. I should try to talk to him. So I looked and I was like, he's walking past the counter. He doesn't even look at me and whatever. And I don't know where he's going. And he's walking towards the front door. And I said to him, look, his name, and I said, I really want to, I really would like to talk. I really would like to try to work things out, I love you and I love our family. And I really, I wanted to try to work things out. Like, granted, we were already having issues. Things were not good, but I did. I loved him. I love, so I wanted to talk to him, and I was like pouring my heart out. He was like, and he turns around and looks at me and gives me this, smirk. He's like, I don't care about you, or I don't care about you. All I care about is my car and my money. And now we just bought these 2 stupid new Lexuses, and I was like, mind you, I had a Chevy Tahoe that was just about paid off. Okay. So, so anyways, after he said those words to me, because like I said, I was pouring my heart out here, and he just looked at me, was like, no, couldn't care, just nothing. Like I was nothing. Like he threw me out. Like he got whatever he needed from me, I guess. And now my time was up and time for me to go. So threw me out like a piece of garbage, basically, And so anyways, I got angry. I got every negative emotion you could possibly feel. Like, you want to call it, anger, sadness, hurt, just not mad. Yes, I was hurt. I was sad. I was angry. I was a lot of things, because here I'm pouring my heart out and he turns around and looks at me like I'm nothing, and, talks to me like I'm a piece of garbage. So yes, I got mad. And so I turned around in our kitchen, and honestly, believe me, I wanted to hurdle the counter and literally like drop kick him in his chest. Obviously, I can't do that. But I shouldn't have done what I did either. Not right. But I was just so hurt, and mad and that he just didn't care at all. Like we've been married 7 years and he was acting like we dated for, a couple months, and so I turned around and I looked, and the first thing I saw was our knife block, which is on the kitchen counter. And obviously I'm sensible enough. I know not to grab the knife, but I grabbed the knife sharpener and I go out to the garage, and yes, I smashed his windshield because You know, because all of this started because of these, they got, thankfully we did get the new cars, because who knows what would have happened, but, just to hear somebody say that, they cared about money and cars more than they cared about me, I don't know, it just really bothered me, and I was really upset. And so, yes, I did. I ran out. I did smash his windshield. And again, it was a crap show, So after I did that, I was like, great, I knew what I did and I shouldn't have done it. And I was like, I just threw the knife sharpener in the garage, and I was pissed at myself now, because I let him get to me. I allowed him to get me that upset, and so again, here's this cycle, this downward spiral, and for him, he's loving it. I mean, this is exactly what he wants. So again, long story short, I'm trying to make it as short as possible, but I end up going to bed. He leaves the house. I don't even know where he went. And then finally, I'm already in bed now. I'm sleeping for about 2 hours. Okay. My son is now home. My ex-husband is gone still. And all of a sudden, my son comes in and he says, Mom, there's a cop at the door. And I was like, I'm half asleep. I wake up, I'm in pajamas. I don't even remember. I think I maybe had boy shorts on. I think I was wearing a tank top. Didn't even have like a bra on or anything. I woke up and like I said, all that had happened. And I was like, so I went down to the police officer, and I don't remember exactly his words, but I remember him saying, he goes, well, I heard there was an altercation or, something happened. I said, yes. And so he asked me, he said, well, did you smash his windshield? And told him, I was like, yes, I did. And I tried to, I thought I'd, tell him how I felt. And all I heard, he's like, well, you're going to be under arrest. I'm going to take you down to the police station and blah, 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 or whatever they were going to do. Okay. Went down to the police station, got whatever they needed, their pictures and, all this, whatever. And then the officer, he's like, well, I'll give you a ride home. Well, thank you, Mr. Officer, because, you brought me here. You picked me up from my house to bring me here to arrest me. And so, yeah, thanks, I guess, But the next day, I believe it was the next day, if not 2 days later, somebody publishes an article, me, and like I said, you can Google it and look it up. And again, you have to take things with a grain of salt, what the media says, because I was part of it. Yes, I did smash his windshield, but my story is the real story is very, very different from what that article says or even states. Okay. Very different. Another time, again, with my ex-husband, he controlled our money and finances. I didn't even sign a tax return. Lo and behold, once all this started happening, I realized over the last 7 years, and I didn't think anything of it because, he said he was taking care of it, but he was signing our tax returns with a PIN code, I guess. I didn't even know I had a PIN code. I had no idea. I had no clue that I had a PIN code until I started going through the divorce. I had to talk to the accountants. So here this guy is signing the tax returns, with our PIN codes, which, again, it's, just whatever. It's, it is what it is. But he did control the finances. My names were on the accounts. But he controlled a lot. He controlled it. And so there was a time when, again, during our divorce, and we weren't divorced yet, and my youngest child was going through a difficult time. I wanted to get him I wanted to have him see a therapist, and, my ex-husband was like, no, we don't have the money, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. So I started looking into other therapy methods, and so I found dog therapy, and I was like, oh, perfect. My son, well, my daughter at the time, now my son, Jesse, he was just going through a difficult time. And I think that was the start of, when he was kind of figuring himself out. And so I found the dog therapy, and I was like, great. He was talking recently about getting a dog. And then I saw that and I read it and I did some research and I was like, perfect. I'll get a dog, which I knew he wasn't going to be happy about. But again, we were starting to go through a divorce anyways. So I knew at some point, it wasn't going to matter. And I didn't care. I was going to do whatever I had to save my child. So I end up finding a dog. I go to see the dog. Come to find out, I didn't realize, I thought it was an adoption. So I figured maybe, $100, $150 for everything. And then come to find out, it was actually a breeder. And I believe I ended up spending like $1,800 on her, but again, like, it was my son. I was like, $1,800 for a dog compared to mental health services, which may or may not work. And again, you got to find the right person, because I had seen a few therapists during this time, and there were some where I don't know, it just, I just it wasn't comfortable, I guess. So it takes a while, and I wanted to get this child, I wanted to help him. So I bought the dog. But in order to buy the dog, again, like, he controlled the finances. He cut my paychecks, like, from the business. So it was just, he was in control of a lot of that. So anyways, I did have access to our business checking account, like, so I could kind of see what's in it. And so again, I wanted to help my child. So I took the money from the business account. I tried, but my personal bank account and the business account were not linked. So I couldn't transfer the money, and I didn't have access, like, I didn't have a card to it. I could see, roughly what was in there, but I didn't have, I had no way to access money or get money out of there, except for, I had access to the business account. My name was on the account. There was also a trust that was in my name, that was for, I had a trust that was I was the owner of. So what I did is I took the money from the business account, I put it in my trust account, and then I transferred it from that trust account into my personal account. And again, I was doing it to help my child. So technically, that's what I did. So I go home, and I already know I'm in for it. Like, I didn't even go straight home. I went to my mom's house for a little while, because seriously, I knew it wasn't going to be good, but I also knew down the line it was going to save my child. So I was going to deal with it. I was just going to take it. So we go home, and again, it's not good. Well, then a couple days later, I get a call from our bank, a call. They were now investigating me because my ex-husband, now I'm still married to this guy at the time, okay? I'm still married to him. We've been married 7 years, okay? Talk about character. He calls the bank and tells them that I committed fraud and stole the money. Really? Okay. So I'm here, I'm talking to the bank, and, I'm explaining to them what I did, the process, I said, look, I I did not steal that money. I said, I simply just took the money without asking his permission. That's it. That's all that really happened. I didn't steal money. I didn't commit fraud in any way. I didn't do that. But because he was upset that I did something without his consent, well, he was mad. So he called the bank and told them I committed fraud. Really? Granted, yes, the business was struggling, and so I get it, but, you don't go out and speak lies of somebody, and that's, like I said, like, it was all a circus. They were all in on it. Like, they they all knew what they were doing, you know, from police officers to attorneys to him to, you know, people he knew. It was just like, it was, it was a circus. And like I said, that's what I don't want to see happen to anyone, you know. And so this is why I'm explaining this stuff, you know, like I'm saying, when it comes to the media, you know, be weird, get out from the TV, get out from the radio, start getting out into nature again. You know, start to get back in tune with yourself and your senses, you know, and don't always listen to what the media says. And I'm not saying, you know, disregard everything, but, you know, question it, you know, if it doesn't sit right, you know. I mean, our medical technology nowadays, people, is, it's advancing tremendously, and it will continue to. But I mean, compared to when, like, you know, some of these other, you know, pandemics happened, I mean, our medical technology is very strong, very competent to be able to overcome and handle, you know, things like the coronavirus. And, you know, it's just, again, we all have to kind of like remain calm and patient, and, you know, like, let's get it done. But, you know, let's be calm about it, you know, and don't let people get you all frantic and riled up and, you know, again, get you all scared, you know, like, keep yourself calm and then do a little research. Look at numbers, you know, don't just go by what everybody hears or what everybody says, you know, look it up for yourself, you know, and again, you know, think reasonably. Our medical technology and our medical system, our healthcare system is you know, it has come so far in it's come very far, you know. So if you're going to tell me that our medical technology or our healthcare system cannot figure out how to overcome this virus, you know, I mean, come on, you know, really, really just think about it. Be reasonable, be smart, you know, and don't let fear overcome you. And that's with anything in life, but especially now, you know, because I don't like what's going on. I don't like how the media, you know, based on what they were teaching kids in school when I was taking the class, and to what I experienced myself with my, you know, going through my divorce, and then, you know, and what I see happening now in the world, and what the media is doing to people, and it's not okay, you know. So, you know, stand up for yourself. You know, I'm going to stand up for myself, you know, because I went through it, you know. And like I said, look up that stupid article, you know. It's, you know, nobody knows what really happened, you know, but they smeared my name across the newspaper like I was this angry, you know, wife. Oh, well, you know, I'm angry because I'm taking care of 6 children. My husband at the time is obviously heartless, as you can see. You know, I'm taking care of the businesses. I'm taking care of the DVD business. You know, he's complaining to me that there's no money coming in, but yet he doesn't have a job, or had never held a job, you know, while we were married. I'm just saying, you know, stay calm, stay collected, you know, do your research, and do not let fear overcome you, okay? Seriously, you know, and I'm saying because I care, you know, because I went through it, you know, and I just I wouldn't want to see anybody go through that, you know, because, you know, it's just, it sucks, you know, and yeah, you know, I don't want to see anybody else, you know, get affected like that or in that way, because it just does a lot of damage, you know, and it's not good, you know, and it's not okay to invoke fear into somebody, you know, for people's personal gain and benefit. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about really quick. Like I said, it was on my mind, and yeah, so hopefully you guys are receptive to that as well. Yeah, and we will talk again soon. All right, guys, take care. Bye.